What's up everyone, Bridget here from Bridget Studios. Hope you guys are doing great. This video has been long overdue. There has been a lot of setbacks, which is why I haven't been able to make it sooner. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a lot of things, but don't worry, I'm not planning on making it a long one. I do owe you guys a big explanation though, like why there still isn't a demo for Menatius even though I promised one, and why the game ended up getting delayed. I know I shouldn't be making promises so soon, but bear with me, a lot has happened over the past 2 months that caused the development of the game to pause, and since this is my first video, I figured I might as well tell you guys a little bit about myself and my journey. Hopefully I don't bore you guys to death, but I believe building a relationship with the community is important, and since I hardly post anything, I hope that by the end of this video I was able to inspire or motivate someone to follow their dream. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So growing up, I've always loved video games. It was basically my only hobby. I would bring video games to school, church, and even when visiting my grandparents because it was fun. I always wondered how games were made, but I never really gave much thought until I was like in 11th grade. While everyone else wanted to be electricians, plumbers, or business people, I just wanted to be a game developer. Just the thought of me building a game gives me this nice feeling that I can't really explain. I even mentioned game development to some of my peers back in high school, and they told me that I'll never be able to do it. So I really leaned into game development around 2021. It was a difficult time for me because I had graduated high school the year before and didn't know what to do with my time. On top of that, we were all dealing with COVID-19, so it was rough. Even so, I got my first job that year at just 17. I think it was around April or May. I got employed as a farmhand, and I hated that job so much. The environment was grueling. It honestly felt like sometimes I was training to be in the special forces. I spent about 2 years there, and during the first half, I kind of forgot about game development, but not completely. It was always in the back of my mind and would pop up from time to time. I'd think about what type of game I wanted to make and what I would call it. As time went by, it started to feel like I should just give up on the whole game development thing because of the salary I was getting. I didn't even know people could build their own PCs back then. So every day I'd wake up like 5 a.m. to the scent of pigs and ask myself if I really planned on doing this for the rest of my life. And what really pushed me to follow my dream though was the harsh and disrespectful treatment from my boss and some of my co-workers. Some of these people were real assholes. A lot of the work was hands-on and they just leave you to fend for yourself and expect you to help them later on. That experience motivated me to start researching game development and the skills I'd need. At first it was scary, not gonna lie, because like looking at codes, not only boring but like it hurts my brain sometimes. I made up my mind and started researching the best PC requirements to run Unity, since everywhere online said it was the easiest game engine to use. After that, I went PC hunting only to find out it was cheaper to build one myself. The downside was that some parts might be dead or incompatible. It took me about 9 months, maybe 10, 12, to build a fully functioning PC. I was all over the place hunting for parts, and then I got stuck because there were no stores in my area that sells GPUs. I thought like, damn, if I had to buy one online it would probably take another 9 or 10 months with the salary I was making. So one day I manned up and I asked my old man to help me buy a graphics card. He came back with a GTX 1060 and I loved it. I played way more games on it than I studied game development. and to this day I'm still rocking it. At times it felt more like a distraction, one that I had to overcome because at the end of the day I needed it for work. I was like, I need to lock in. So when I came home from work, I'd follow tutorials, doing that for months, till eventually I got trapped in tutorial hell. Because again, coding is difficult, especially since I'm using Unity, and they say C sharp is easy, but it's not. Hopefully, I didn't discourage any of you guys from learning it, but after some time, I got burnt out and almost gave up on game development. It was really a sad moment. I thought, man, I'll never achieve my dream and I'll have to deal with shitty people in the workplace no matter what job I get. It was depressing, so much so that I just got fed up with the farm work and left, mostly because of the constant disrespect. Another period passed, and one day I woke up, went on YouTube, and saw that Unity messed up with some fundings or something like that. I ran, but I didn't give up on my dream. I went with my other option, which is Unreal Engine 5. One thing I need to make clear though is that I didn't leave Unity only because of what they did. I noticed it wasn't their first time pulling stuff like that, so I decided to check out Unreal, especially since they had visual scripting. Unity has it too, but it's not as advanced, and I really wasn't planning on learning a new programming language. I told myself that I'll give it a few months, and in just a week, I was drawn into it. Ever since then, I've been in forums, Discord groups, and YouTube comment sections, asking questions and learning as much as possible. Unreal Engine is really amazing, and the more I learned, the more I wanted to do. I'm going to keep this part short and straight to the point. There are a few things I want to say, especially to those who are planning on getting into game development or thinking about quitting. As a beginner myself and as someone who plans on making video games until the end, I want you guys to know this. Game development is only hard depending on the type of game you want to make and the complexity of the code. I've seen amazing games with very little code, and as a beginner, there's absolutely nothing wrong with using other people's assets. A lot of the time, they're made specifically for you to use to save time and energy. Just make sure you read the license of those assets. And just because you can't do art or create music doesn't mean you can't be a game developer. There are tons of free assets out there. Don't be discouraged or say you can't make a game just because you saw someone else release a beautiful or fun one. Usually that game was made by a team of people, and sometimes it's just one person who used a bunch of assets and asked for help whenever they got stuck. There's nothing wrong with asking for help or guidance. A little help can go a very long way. You can even pay someone if you need to. There are plenty of options out there that won't break your pockets, so don't be shy and don't be afraid to reach out for help. Now about Menicius, the indie horror game I've been working on. It's been a little over 2 years now since I've been working on it. It hasn't been easy, mainly because I'm still learning Unreal to this day, and my ideas tend to shift from time to time. I would build an entire area and then end up changing it for whatever reason. Like I mentioned earlier though, there are a lot of free assets out there that help speed up development, and that's exactly what I did. The story of the game is extremely simple. It didn't take too long to create. Right now I'm thinking about making future projects to be similar to the Assassin's Creed style, where it's the future and the past so the lore can build up over time. Another thing is that I usually seek help whenever I'm stuck for too long. Sometimes I'll be working on a code for 2 weeks, trying to figure it out. Eventually I'll look for guidance, whether paid or free, but that also takes time, which honestly has been killing me as of right now. The game is about 75% done. It's been fun and stressful to make. I'm not going to say too much about the game, but if you guys haven't checked out its Steam page yet, Menicius is a first-person retro horror game set in a mansion. I don't really know how to say it better than that. I know it sounds familiar, but It's nothing like what you're probably thinking. Currently, I'm working on one of the underwater sections in the graveyard location. That's another form of torture I'm putting myself through because I need to create an oxygen system. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I think I can manage. Also, I need to fix the underwater movement since it's not perfect right now. And also, I was also considering adding like underwater animations for the player, but I can't make animations myself. Usually I link up with an animator on Fiverr named Thomas. He's the one who made all my weapon animations. You guys should definitely check him out if you're looking for some amazing Blender animations. So yeah, that's pretty much how development is going right now. Onto the real reason the game had to be delayed, because that's what you guys are really here for, not my ramblings. The game is delayed mainly because I was laid off my job, which was my only source of income to fund the development. The reason for that was the hurricane that passed over Jamaica about 2 months ago. The game will definitely be releasing this year though, assuming I can find another job. I'm just not sure about when, especially since I don't even have reliable internet right now to release the demo, so you guys could check it out. But that's life for you. Things happen that you just have to deal with. I even contacted Steam since I applied for Screamfest last year and explained the situation to them. They were pretty chill about it, but still it hurts knowing that I promised you guys a demo and didn't follow through with it. Maybe that's why some of you removed it from your wish list. When I saw that, I just knew that was the reason, because I came up short. I'm sorry about that, even though it wasn't entirely my fault. It was a damn hurricane. I still take full responsibility. I should have kept you guys updated, but with so much going on, it's been stressful trying to keep up with everything going on. So yeah, that's about the gist of it. Menasius is delayed until later this year. And one more thing, Breaded Studios won't just be a game studio in the future. After Menasius, I'll be putting more focus into practicing drawing, because I've also always wanted to get into comics and manga. It's something I've always wanted to do for a long time. I know it's going to take time, which is why I'll also be working on my next game project at the same time. And this time I'll be uploading every step of the development going forward. I've learned my lesson. Self-marketing is killing me, and I think that's because I barely post on my socials and also started late. So yeah, that's everything about the game and the future of this studio. So this might be the hardest part of the video for me so far, and that's because it has to do with funding my game. This honestly feels like me coming online begging for money to finish my indie game. I never planned on doing crowdfunding. I wanted to complete it using only the salary I was getting. So because of that, I want to be as transparent and open about this topic as possible. Since it's a big deal, not many people even know about this game. And that's my fault for not advertising it early, and honestly, I really don't know how to start. So I'll just tell you guys the important parts. I mentioned before that the game got delayed because of Hurricane Melissa, and because of that I was laid off from my job. A lot of infrastructure got damaged, many people lost their homes. Luckily, my family and I didn't lose much. We only lost a few windows, a door, and 9 solar panels. That's another reason the game had to be delayed until later this year. Even though the power lines were down, I could have relied on the solar panels, but life had other plans, and because of this, my family and I had to dig deep into our savings to buy the things we needed. We managed to replace 5 out of the 9 panels, which is working fine for now. But it really hit both me and my sister's pockets. Right now, only my mother and father are working. I did try to find another job in the meantime, but it didn't work out. That's why I ended up creating this fundraiser. Another major issue is that platforms like Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and Indiegogo just name a few, don't work in my country. I went back and forth trying to figure things out until I found out that my country has its own crowdfunding service, which is the one I'm currently using. It's called Real Helping Hands. The link is on all of my socials, mostly in posts. I really wanted to use Kickstarter though, because that's what a lot of people use for game projects, and it has a lot of traffic. As of right now, I've received 2 donations for the crowdfunding. Thank you guys so much. I still have a ways to go, but I truly appreciate it. Along with the kind words I received from a few people online, that support really moved me because I was honestly starting to lose hope. The vision I have for the Miniatius franchise is huge, and I really need your help to make that vision a reality. Without you guys, it simply won't happen. I can put in all the work in the world, but if no one plays the game or supports me, then it doesn't matter. As for what the money will go towards, it'll be used to pay for game assets like animations, models, voice acting, and to support freelance artists and developers. I mentioned earlier that I've already paid for help to speed up development. Well, that's what the money will be put towards if you guys support me. And that's pretty much it. You can check out my socials. I also have a link to my Discord server there where you can get updates on the game and give feedbacks so I know what you guys would want to see in the game. So yeah, that's about it. I've got a lot of work to get back to. So take care. The game will be releasing this year. And until then, Reddit here, signing out.